Oh, hello everybody. It's I just want to say hello. Good day, everybody. Yeah, good evening, actually. It's 10 over here, but I should have started about an hour ago. I did get a little bit ahead of myself, so Fahrenheit 451. I'll be reading up till chapter 2, or up until page 60 something. I don't remember which one. Maybe 68. I think 68, 69. I can't remember which number, but I'll be reading up to that, and I'll be reading it out loud to you guys because, well, you guys deserve to hear some reading, and it's just to make some peak content. Trying to actually do something. Yeah, he's in the background. He's actually in the background, right behind where Almond Cookie is, but I don't think I can fix that. Can I? I think I could fix it. It might show the changes. I don't know. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, I can just move him around and there. There's two whiskers. Yes, this is from his original Gacha animation. You know what? From his original Gacha animation, and then I found this one somewhere. The one in the background is from the Gacha animation. Anyway, we're gonna get to reading. I do need to do some reading. I mean, it's perfect weather, even though it's like... How cold is it over here? Oh, 17 degrees outside. It's cold. Like, cold. So, might as well. Besides, I haven't read this book in like a long time. Yeah, it is 17, but it feels like 4, I think. It feels like 4 degrees outside. So, yeah. And I think it's actually snowing. So, might as well actually start now because it's already 10:30. So, and I'll be reading it out loud, and if I suck at pronunciation, then I just suck. But I just need to get reading because I promised. Promise is a promise. Alright, I'm gonna start. I was originally gonna do this for Christmas, but like, no. Alright. Sorry. Chapter 1. The Hearth and the Salamander. It was a pleasure to burn. It was a special pleasure to see things eaten, to see things blackened and changed. But the brass nozzle in his fist, with this great python spitting its venom kerosene upon the world, the blood pounding in his head, and his hands were the hands of some amazing conductor playing all the symphonies, ablazing and burning to bring down the taters and charcoal ruins of history. With his symbolic helmet number 451 on his stolid head, and his eyes all orange flame with the thought of what came next, he flicked the igniter, and the house jumped up in a goring fire that burned the evening sky, red and yellow and black. He strode in a swarm of fireflies. He wanted above all, like the old joke, to shove a marshmallow on a stick in the furnace, while the flapping pigeon-winged books died on the porch and lawn... died on the porch and lawn of the house. While the books went up in a sparkling whirls and blew away on a wind turned dark with burning. Montag grinned, the fierce grin of all men, singed and driven back by flame. He knew that when he returned to the firehouse, he might wink at himself, a minstrel man, burnt cork in the mirror. Later, going to sleep, he would feel the fiery smile still gripped by his face muscles in the dark. It never went away. That smile. It never ever went away. As long as he remembered. He hung up his black beetle color helmet and shined it. He hung his flame-proof jacket neatly. He showered luxuriously and then, whistling, hands in pocket, walked across the upper floor of the fire station and fell down the hole. At the last moment, when disaster seemed positive, he pulled his hands from his pockets and broke his fall by grasping the golden pole. He slid to a squeaking halt, the heels 1 inch from the concrete floor downstairs. He walked out of the fire station and along the midnight street towards the subway where the silent air-propelled train slid soundlessly down its lubricant flew in the earth and let him out with a great puff of warm air on the cream-tiled escalator rising into the suburbs. Whistling, he let the escalator waft him into the still night air. He walked toward the corner, thinking little at all about nothing in particular. Before he reached the corner, however, he showed as if a wind had sprung up from nowhere, as if someone had called his name. The last few nights he had the most uncertain feelings about the sidewalk just around the corner here, moving in the starlight towards his house. He had felt that a moment prior to his making the turn, someone had been there. The air seemed charged with a special calm, as if someone had waited there, quietly, and only a moment before he came, simply turned to a shadow and let him through. Perhaps his nose detected a faint perfume. Perhaps the skin on the backs of his hand and on his face felt the temperature rise at this one spot where a person standing might raise the immediate atmosphere 10 degrees for an instant. There was no understanding it. Each time he made a turn, he saw only the white, unused, buckling sidewalk, with perhaps on one night something vanishing swiftly across the lawn before he could focus his eyes or speak. But now, tonight, he slowed almost to a stop. His inner mind, reaching out to turn the corner for him, had heard the faintest whisper. Breathing? Or was the atmosphere compressed merely by someone standing very quietly there, waiting? Very quietly there, waiting? He turned the corner. The autumn leaves blew over the moonlight pavement in such a way as to make the girl who was moving there seem fixed to a sliding walk, letting the motion of the wind and the leaves carry her forward. Her head was half bent to watch her shoes stir the circling leaves. Her face was slender and milk-white, and in it was a kind of gentle hunger that touched all over everything with tireless curiosity. It was a look, almost, of pale surprise. The dark eyes were so fixed to the world that no move escaped them. Her dress was white, and it whispered. He almost thought he heard the motion of her hands as she walked, and the infinitely small sound now. The white stir of her face turning when she discovered that she was a moment away from a man who stood in the middle of the pavement waiting. The trees overhead made a great sound of letting down their dry rain. The girl stopped and looked as if she might pull back in surprise, but instead stood regarding Montag with eyes so dark and shining and alive that he felt that he only had to say something quite wonderful. But he knew his mouth had only moved to say hello. And then, when she seemed hypnotized by the salamander on his arm and the phoenix disc on his chest, he spoke again. Of course, he said. You're our new neighbor, aren't you? You're our new neighbor, aren't you? And you must be... She raised her eyes from his professional symbols. The fireman. Her voice trailed off. How oddly you say that. I'd have known it with my eyes shut, she said, slowly. What, the smell of kerosene? My wife always complains, he laughed. You never wash it off completely. No, you don't, she said in awe. He felt she was walking in a circle around him, turning him end for end, shaking him quietly and emptying his pockets, without one moving herself. Kerosene, he said, because the silence had lengthened, is nothing but perfume to me. Does it seem like that, really? Does it seem like that, really? Of course. Why not? I'm literally trying to learn grammar as we speak. Sorry. I had to stretch. Does it seem like that? Really? Of course. Why not? She gave herself time to think of it. I don't know. She turned to face the sidewalk going toward their homes. Do you mind if I walk back with you? I'm Clarice McClellan. I can't pronounce the last name. McClellan. Clarice. Guy Montag. Come along. What are you doing out so late wandering around? What are you doing out so late wandering around? How old are you? They walked in the warm, cool, blowing night on the silvered pavement, and there the faintest breath of fresh apricots and strawberries in the air, and he looked around and realized this was quite impossibly so late in the year. There was only the girl walking with him now, her face bright as snow in the moonlight, and he knew she was working his questions around, seeking the best answers she could possibly give. Well, she said, I'm 17 and I'm crazy. My uncle says the two always go together. When people ask your age, he said, always say 17 and insane. Isn't this a nighttime of night to walk? I like to smell things and look at things, and sometimes stay up all night, walking, and watch the sun rise. They walked on again in silence, and finally, she said, though thoughtfully, you know, I'm not afraid of you at all. He was surprised. Why should you be? So many people are afraid of firemen. I mean, but you're just a man, after all. He saw himself in her eyes, suspended in 2 shining drops of bright water, himself dark and tiny, in fine detail, the lines about his mouth. Everything there, as if her eyes were 2 miraculous bits of violet amber that might capture and hold him intact. Her face turned to him now, was fragile milk crystal with a soft and constant light in it. It was not the hysterical light of electricity, but what? But the strangely comfortable and rare and gently flattering light of the candle. One time, as a child, in a power failure, his mother had found and lit a last candle, and there had been a brief hour of rediscovery of such illumination that space lost its vast dimensions and drew comfortably around them. And they, mother and son, alone, transformed, hoping that the power might not come on again too soon. And then Clarice McClellan said, Do you mind if I ask how long you worked at being a fireman? Since I was 20, 10 years ago. Do you ever read any of the books that you burn? He laughed. That's against the law. God damn it, I keep losing people. Whatever. Oh, of course. It's fine work. Monday burn Millay, Wednesday Whitman, Friday Faulkner. Burn 'em to ashes, then burn the ashes. That's our official slogan. They walked still further, and the girl said, Is it true that in long ago firemen put fires out instead of going to start them? No, houses have always been fireproof. Take my word for it. Strange. I heard once that a long time ago, houses used to burn by accident, and they needed a fireman to stop the flames. Rest in peace. I need to get water. Hold up. There's no more ice in my water. I'm sad. Hold up, stretch break. Yeah. I never take stretch breaks, but I have to. Yeah, it's just that it's hot in my room now. How long have I been? Like 15 minutes. Okay. Crazy. No. Houses have always been fireproof. Take my word for it. Strange. I heard once that a long time ago houses used to burn by accident and they needed firemen to stop the flames. He laughed. She glanced quickly over. Why are you laughing? I don't know. He started to laugh again and stopped. Why? You laugh when I haven't been funny, and you answer right off. You never stop to think what I've asked you. He stopped walking. You are an odd one, he said, looking at her. Haven't you any respect? I don't mean to be insulting. It's just I love to watch people too much, I guess. Well, doesn't this mean anything to you? He tapped the numerals 451 stitched on his char-colored sleeve. Yes, she whispered. She increased her pace. Have you ever watched the jet cars racing on the boulevards down that way? You're changing the subject! You're changing the subject! I sometimes think drivers don't know what grass is, or flowers, because they never see them slowly. Don't mind it. If you showed a driver a green blur, oh yes, he'd say, that's grass. A pink blur? That's a rose garden. White blurs are houses. Brown blurs are cows. My uncle drove slowly on a highway once. He drove 40 miles an hour, and they jailed him for 2 days. Isn't that funny and sad, too? You think too many things, said Montag uneasily. I rarely watch the parlor walls or go to races or fun parks. So I have lots of time for crazy thoughts, I guess. Have you seen the 200-foot-long billboards in the country beyond town? Did you know that once billboards were only 20 feet long, but cars started rushing by so quickly that they had to stretch the advertisement out so that it would last? Yeah, whiskers. Stop changing the subject! Bye! I rarely watch the parlor walls or go to races or fun parks, so I have lots of time for crazy thoughts, I guess. Have you seen the 200-foot-long billboards in the country beyond town? Did you know that once billboards were only 20 feet long? But cars started rushing by so quickly that they had to stretch the advertising out so long so that it would last. I didn't know that, Montag laughed abruptly. Bet I know something else you don't. There's dew on the grass in the morning. He suddenly couldn't remember if he had known this or not, and it made him quite irritable. And if you look, she nodded at the sky, there's a man in the moon. He hadn't looked for a long time. They walked the rest of the way in silence, hers thoughtfully, his a kind of clenching and uncomfortable silence in which he shot her accusing glances. When they reached her house, all its lights were blazing. What's going on? Montag had rarely seen that many house lights. Oh, just like my mother and father and uncle sitting around talking. It's like being a pedestrian, only rarer. My uncle was arrested in another time. Did I tell you? For being a pedestrian? Oh, we're most peculiar. 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 I don't know how to pronounce. Peculiar. Peculiar. Yeah, there we go. Peculiar. But what do you talk about? She laughed at this. Good night. She started off her walk. Then she seemed to remember something and came back to look at him with wonder and curiosity. Are you happy? She said. Am I what? He cried. But she was gone, running in the moonlight. Her front door shut gently. Oh my god, I have such... I have to take constant water breaks now because I'm not gonna get to page 60. Can I have it? Can I have it? I'm barely even nine pages in. Within 21 minutes. Oh. Wait, I'm gonna move myself off my... I don't want to be sitting up while I read because it's hurting my back. I might actually end at once we're 30 minutes in because no one's here. I see no one. We're empty. And I tried to go live earlier, but my mind was like, no, I can't go live. How did you bite the stick off? You know what? That would be a good chew toy. Thank you. I'm only reading one page. Page 8, and then I'm done because I'm tired and I really want to go to bed. Frick, my headphones just died. How did they die? Yeah, chew toy. You just bite on it. Just chew on it. These were on the charger for 2 hours. I don't think my charger's plugged in. Hold up. What you know? It's not even plugged. It's called a chew toy. Yeah, it's because I'm trying not to go late in the night, but that's basically the only time I'm free from chaos at this point, because I'm never free from chaos anymore. So, you know what? I'll call you and read, maybe. I don't know, I'm kind of getting tired. I'm gonna go sleepy. I gotta go sleep. These are... It's either snowflakes or it's actually raining and it's turning into ice. But I can hear it outside. I mean, I might not call you right now. I'll call you later. Because I am bored and I might try to get sleep. I will not forget. Hold up. Let me remind myself on my phone. I don't forget shit. I don't forget shit. So, like, what the fuck? I'm not gonna forget. Hold up. Where's my clock app? Here it is. Alarm. 1. If I'm still awake at 1, I'm gonna change the name real quick. Wait, I'm gonna put my Spotify playlist up. Hold up. Why that one? I'm gonna go easy.
Shut up, you know.
Hold up. That was like the first song recommendation. Do we want easy? I need to choose a husband. Crap.
I can do it.
Shut up! Shut up! Stop playing that one! Stop playing that!
This ain't Jordan.
Shit. Why that one? Oh. I love that one. That one now. It was the first song that played. I can replay it. Hold up. Shit, I don't forget shit. So, if I'm still awake at 1, I'm gonna change the name. Wait, I'm gonna put my Spotify playlist. Hold up. Wait, I gotta speed this up. Why that one? Did you hear it? Yeah, I think you just heard it. But also, I think you can hear the background stuff, like the damn tingling. Yeah, there you go. Proof. That was proof. That's proof. I changed it though. Don't worry, it's a different one. I'll set a different alarm for like right now. For 10:57. There. Oh, that one. Hold up. Wait. Frick! I didn't want that alarm. I didn't want it. Hated that. I hate that alarm. I hate that it's my main ringtone now. I'm gonna change it. Because I don't want it to be that ringtone at this point. That's my alarm. This ain't even there. Yeah, it's because I had to fix it because it's my default. So alarm set for less than a minute. How long do I have until this alarm goes off? 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Oh, why the freaky? What the freaky? Stop it. I hate when it does my reverbs. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2. There we go. There's a lamb called na 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 na. I love that song. A very peak song. Alright, and then I have one set for tomorrow at 1 in the morning. Well, actually for like 5 minutes. But you know what? We're putting easy type shit. Yeah, let's put easy. Easy. Where is it? There's 8. Crap. Stop it! That is only if I'm awake at 1. 3, 2, 1. 3. There we go. Well, actually for like 5 minutes. But you know what? We're putting easy type shit. Yeah, let's put easy. Easy. Where is it? There's 8. Crap. Stop it. If I'm asleep at 1 in the morning, you could take away whatever you want. Take whatever you want away for like an entire year. Also, I might go shove Beaver outside when I wake up tomorrow. Anyways, I'm gonna end it because I have like, what the freak? Yeah. I might go put Beaver outside though. But how many seconds do we got until like it turns to 11? I don't know. I can't. All right, we have 1. Oh, there. It's 11. All right. Byes.